Hey Libra, welcome to your April 2017 Tarot Oracle with a little bit of astrology reading. I'm Mimi with Divination by Mimi. We're going to be doing an elemental spread using the Morgan Greer Tarot, which is a Rider-Waite-Smith based tarot. For clarification, we will be using the cartouche if we need it. I haven't needed it in the last one, which is based on ancient Kemetic mythos. And if we need it, we've got two types of runes in which to get further clarification. Let's get involved now talking about the astrology because there's a lot to talk about. This April season, April might as well be called retrograde month because there are 4 planets in retrograde. Let's start with your ruling planet, Venus. Venus has been in retrograde since the beginning of March and will be remaining in retrograde until the 15th of April. She actually is in Taurus by the beginning of April, but by the, when is it? Right around the end of her retrograde, right when she starts to go direct, she will be back in Pisces in a conjunction with Chiron. Okay, what does that mean? Well, with retrogrades, you know that means we go backwards. We're revisiting old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things, old concepts. With her going retrograde and making a conjunction with Chiron, she is actually revisiting old wounds, old things that have caused pain in the past. Why it's important to look at these, because if you don't look at them and you don't address them and fix them and heal them, they will continue to rear their head in the form of shadow. And during retrograde, with 4 planets in retrograde this month, whether you look at it consciously or somebody comes up and shows it to your face by surprise, you will look at it. It's a karmic thing. We all have to look at it. So as it's happening in the sky, it needs to happen in your life. When these energies are dancing the way they are across the sky, or backwards as they are across the sky, take advantage of that energy. Use it to your advantage. Okay? So again, with Venus retrograde, it's looking at old relationships, old ways of thinking, old concepts as it has to do with finances, with values. When it's in conjunction with Chiron specifically, it is to do with old pain and old wounds. So we will be taking a trip backwards on many different levels in time during this month of April. While your ruling planet Venus is in retrograde, making that conjunction with Chiron, that little aspect right there will be making another aspect, a square with Saturn. Saturn is also going retrograde as of the 6th. Will remain in retrograde until the 25th of August. And that conjunction will be formed as Saturn is in and out of retrograde with the galactic center. So when we're talking about going back, we're talking about going back to day 1. We're looking at things, we're looking for hurts as we're talking about this aspect with the square with Venus and Chiron. That is looking back at hurts from the very beginning, from very formative years for you. This is childhood we're looking at. Old ideas, old concepts, old things people have said that have hurt us deeply, and are they true? Old religious beliefs, do they still ring true for you? Again, this is happening on a personal level, but this is happening on a global level too. Macrocosm, microcosm, above, below, without, within. Okay, so collectively, we're going to be looking at old institutions and old ideas like governments, like religions, like financial institutions or financial, concepts or organizations, and revisiting them and saying, do these really have value for me anymore, the way that they are? Do I really follow does this fit my ethos? Does this old ethos fit my ethos? So again, take advantage. You will feel it regardless of whether you take advantage of it or not. Okay, so Saturn is also making a square with Jupiter. That is the 4th planet in retrograde. Well, the 3rd planet that I've listed in retrograde. That means that things that you've said, beliefs that you've held strongly, will come back up to bite you in the butt now. So let's say 10 years ago you had a particular idea, political idea that you espoused regularly and loudly, and you may not feel that way anymore. Maybe you switched parties just because of an ideological difference, but you may have been very strongly a political party at that time, a particular political party at that time. You are now going to be forced to reckon with what you've said in the past. You may have to make some apologies. So be okay with this. Don't beat yourself up with this. We all make mistakes. That's what growth is about. That's what evolution is about. There may have been a time when you held one belief very strongly, and now through time and experience and interaction with other people or different people, you've come to a different conclusion about things, and that old paradigm doesn't fit anymore. That's okay. We all go through that, okay? But it's better to address it directly and honestly with bravery than it is to have it come up and slap you in the face when you're not expecting it, okay? Because it can take you off guard. And yet the fourth, here's yet another planet that's in retrograde. The fourth planet that will be in retrograde is Mercury. Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th and will remain in retrograde until the 3rd of May. Mercury starts the month off in Taurus, which is a slow, plodding, sensual, not that energetic vibe for Mercury to be in. But at a certain point in its retrograde, starting the 9th, it will go back to Aries on the 21st. Okay? In Aries, its normal instincts to communicate will be fast. And when it's in reverse, not all the facts are there. So you'll be wanting to, we all will be wanting to speak instinctually, quickly, knee-jerk reaction with half the information and twice the energy with the Aries element. So with every Mercury retrograde, here's the warning. Do not sign your name on the dotted line for anything that's going to affect you for the next 5 to 10 years. That's marriage, buying a house, selling a house, divorce, adoption, school, all of these things. Try to hold off on making those big decisions and signing your name, starting new projects that will affect you contractually between the 9th of April and the 3rd of May. Okay, because not all the facts are visible at this time. Also, that said, Mercury being the planet of communication, in retrograde, not all the facts are shown, so be careful in the way that you communicate with people. You might find people communicating with you in an abrupt, perfunctory, inaccurate way, saying things. Try to have some forgiveness as you're going to request that they have forgiveness of you. So for the next month, this is going to be very tense, lots of pressure. But if you are aware of it, open and courageous with it, you actually can make incredible strides as you ride these energies to look back naturally with courage. Because everyone makes mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong about something. Just Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury and Venus are asking you just to look and own up. Because it's really for your betterment, for all of our betterment. It only serves you to do this. So just try to ride the energies if you can. And it will be tough. Trust me, it's going to be very, very tense. All right, so that's enough with the astrology. Oh, sorry, 2 more things. There will be a full moon in Libra on the 11th and a new moon on the 26th in Taurus. So I'll be uploading videos for those 2 astrological events. But as for now, enough with the planets. Let's get talking on tarot. So far with all of the signs, though, the card reading has absolutely reflected the dance in the sky. So be prepared to have this very likely confirm what we were just saying. When energies are this strong, it's very hard to swim against the current. This is an elemental spread. North, east, south, and west will represent earth, air, fire, and water. And likely it would represent wealth and health, thoughts and reasoning, creative endeavors and career and relationships and spirituality. And then Akasha will be the center card that we'll be pulling first, which has to do, of course, with what spirit is communicating to you as this month is carrying on. Okay, so what does Libra, ruled by Venus, with Jupiter going retrograde in your constellation, need to know? All the retrogrades, including your own planet in your own constellation and your mother planet going retrograde back into Pisces to feel those old hurts again. What does it need to know? You got 3 cards. Spirit is the Magician in reverse. Earth is Strength in the upright. Air is 8 of Wands in reverse. Fire is the 9 of Pentacles. Water is the Five of Wands, relationships. Okay. So Akasha, Spirit, is talking to us about having all of the capabilities, all the tools that we need. The magician in the upright has all the things that he or she needs eternally throughout life, as we all truly as souls do have available to us to manifest anything that we want. In reverse, it either means we're misusing these gifts and talents or we're ignoring them. And based upon the other messages, I'm under the impression that you're ignoring your talents. You have the gift of fire, the gift of earth, the gift of air, and the gift of water. The gift of compassion and intuition. You have the gift of creativity and fire and energy. You have the gift of logic and rationale, and you have the gift of financial abundance and physical health abundance. It's all available to you, but it appears that you don't see that you have all of these attributes available to you right now. It sounds like you're underselling yourself. Spirit is trying to remind you that you have everything that you need. Everything that you need. You have always had everything that you need. You're not, at this point in time, you're not engaging all of the gifts that you have. Libra is a very it's an air sign, although it's ruled by Venus, which tends to be like love and relationships and things like that. It's about value, okay? Venus, your ruling planet, of being about value. And what you are is a very intelligent, balanced perspective. One thing that Libra does have difficulty with is indecisiveness. And I think this is reflected here in the message that Spirit is giving you. Knowing, now that you know, logically, rationally, believe and know that you have everything that you need available to you to make anything happen that you want. Literally, anything that you want. And you have the logic to balance it out and to allocate resources appropriately for the energy that they will expel, right? You have that ability. Just believe that you have that ability. Don't be wishy-washy about it. Don't go back and forth on, oh, I don't want to exert the effort, or no, maybe I really don't. I'm just meek and mild. You're not. You're able to do anything you want. You are the magician. So use this on its higher octave. Spirit is urging you not to sit here in non-movement any longer. I don't think it's mismovement. I really think that you have an inkling that you might have all of this capability available to you, but you're just not acting on it. So remember that you have all of this. You can make anything you want happen. Anything you want. Okay, in the north you have strength. The north is earth, which has to do with finances and health, things of that nature. So as it has to do with your, I'm not really worried about wealth here. I'm worried more about health. And you're getting strength, which means you're actually in very good health right now, physically. You have the capacity, in other words, the physical capability to do and create whatever you want is there. There's nothing hindering you. Despite what you may think or not think, despite the inability to focus in on something, the wishy-washiness that you might be having here, you have the strength to do and employ all of these tools and be and have anything that you want. Okay, so Spirit is reminding you that the fortitude, the finances, and the health that you need is there. That you have strength. Okay, you have what it takes to make whatever you need to have happen. And you have the tools. Just decide. Make the decision. It's hard for Libra. You're the scales. Oh, but what about but what about this? Oh, but what about this? But what about this? If you don't make a move, you're stuck. And stuck is a decision. And it's not movement. Everything moves. Everything moves. It's one of the laws, one of the Hermetic laws. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Just make a decision and move. If it's the wrong one, it's okay. We're in retrograde season. We'll be revisiting everything. So any mistakes that you've made in the past will be brought up to you again, or you can look at them. Okay? You can take this opportunity to look at previous mistakes you might have made so that you avoid them as you allocate your resources and use them. All right, over here, it looks like you've been waiting for some kind of a message about something. This is the Eight of Wands, which tends to be fast-moving messages, but they're not coming. I tend to think this is you waiting for some kind of definitive answer about something before you make a fucking decision, okay? To actually act on behalf of yourself. You do deserve good things, okay? There's a project out here, 9 of Pentacles, to bring you incredible wealth to add to your health. Add to this world that you've created, this health and wealth, okay? But you're waiting for some kind of message that's not going to come. You're waiting for some validation or something that's not going to come. You're not making a decision. Remember, Spirit is telling you, you've got everything you need. Make a fucking decision. Forget about getting the okay from someone else and do it. Do it. Make the decision, because look at the outcome. 9 of Pentacles. That's wealth. That's the person that is completely sovereign over their own life. It's always usually, well, in Rider-Waite-Smith decks, it's depicted as a woman with much abundance around her. And I believe they use a woman because at the time that these were created, not this deck, but the Rider-Waite-Smith was created, a woman who was autonomous and self-supporting was an unusual thing. So that's, I think, why they use the symbol of a woman who's self-supporting through her own efforts. However, this is unequivocally the card of autonomy, of self-governing, self-ownership, taking care of one's own shit. Okay? And it's right here waiting for you. All you have to do is make a decision. Stop waiting for the validation and make the fucking decision. And I think that you're waiting for some validation because there's some kind of upheaval that you're experiencing in your relationships right now. There's a lot of arguing going on. Could be the Venus retrograde, your ruling planet in reverse means you're revisiting old hurts that you've had, old experiences that you've had. That may bring up some old bad feelings and cause you to react. And again, this will continue to go through this month. So I urge you, particularly with Mercury in retrograde, to be careful with what you say. Don't be so much on focusing outwardly to everyone else about what they've done or haven't done for you, okay? Or what they've said or haven't communicated to you. Don't wait for this validation. It's all about you. It is all about you taking and using the things that are right in front of you. Use it and do it. Forget this. Forget waiting on this. And I know it's hard, Libra. You are the relationship sign and house. How it's you and the other, the diplomat. How do you relate to the other, the house of the other, the house of relationships? So this is hard when you're not getting the validation that you need, I know. And it's hard when you're at odds with those people. But amidst all of this need to depend on other people's opinions and things like that, you can actually persevere and make a change. Try to put your blinkers on and focus in on yourself. Make this happen. You have what it takes to make this successful. Everything's right here. All right, I'll stop going on. I don't think you need clarification. You will have, I think, been one of the shortest ones I've done so far, guys. So I hope this was helpful to someone out there. Yeah, it seems pretty strong. There's nothing wrong with looking back and considering other people's relationships with us. Just don't dwell on it and don't feel like you have to depend on it or its validation for you. Because this is all really ultimately about your relationship with yourself in the big picture. Okay? So just make the decision. Forget what's going on over here. Use this strength that's there. Use these tools that are here and make this joy happen. All right, that's it, Libra. Thank you so much. Again, I'll see you for the full and new moon if I don't hear from you directly for a private reading. Elsewise, I will see you at the beginning of May for the next astrological readings. You take care. Have a good April.